I love this look. This was the MAC powder ad. I got tons of requests for this look right here. Let's do it. So for the eye, I thought we'd do it up close. Even though it's pretty simple, I feel like we learn better when it's really nice and up close. So I started with 18M, and even if 18M isn't a really good shade for you, all we're doing here is I'm using a liquid shadow that's closer to my skin tone. I'm a little bit more tan right now, but this is still gonna work really nicely. And we're just gonna make sure that's nice and smooth. You're gonna notice I didn't worry too much about my lash line. You'll see why in just a second. The key to this look is an even tone lid space, and that goes from about right here all the way to the brow bone. And that's what, hey now, that's what's gonna give us this really polished look. And it all starts with just using a liquid shadow, very similar to your skin tone and undertone. Now this is the star of the show right here. It's the E27. This is still $9, by the way. And then I took this darker Armani liquid shadow and I just stamped it right through there. Okay, I'm gonna set it down, and it's best to do one eye at a time with this so this doesn't dry down. And I just kind of smudged it. Then I relaxed my eye and I just stamped over those folds. Stamp, 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 stamp. See how easy that is? Tilt your head back, just keep tapping. I'm gonna wipe off any excess here on Sheila. Make a little bit of a ruckus. We love a ruckus. Nice. Now I did add a little bit more of that same dark shadow through here, mostly at the base. And the reason why is because when you have a darker base like this, it's gonna make the next eyeshadow pop even more. This eye's fold is a little bit lower. It's like this is a really good eye to teach you on. Just always stamping. Anytime you can stamp over a fold, it's always a good idea. Then what I'll do is, I know not all of us can shut one eye at a time. I say that all the time, but I can. It's my flex. But if you can just kind of tilt your head back, you can connect it and soften it. Now I'm doing this into my phone, into a mirror, so it's a little bit harder, but I do want you to know, here, I can see it here, perfect. Here, let me stop this slide and continue my yap. All right, there we go. So I'm looking just into the mirror now. And if you just kind of tilt down, just tilt your head back. But I also want you to realize that something like that is completely fine. Especially when you're doing something this smoky, it's really okay. If you want to blend it a little bit more, I always recommend blending down instead of blending up, because down here, when we drag it down like this to kind of keep control, it's going to be a lot easier to clean up underneath there. Now we're already to the cleanup, micellar water on a C30. And I will say this is a really good way to kind of figure out your eye shape. Sometimes I'll bring it all the way down here and lift it up. Douglas, not right now. And then sometimes I'll start here where my eye separates. It really is just up to you. And using this technique of micellar water on a brush like this to reshape is a really good way to kind of learn not only your eye shape, but kind of the shapes that look good to you, because I don't want you to put you in a box and be like, oh, you can only do it this way, this way, this way. But it's a really good way to kind of learn your eye shape and what you like best. This is what I think we were all loving. We're just gonna put that right here. And right here is where the eyeball's sticking out the furthest. Kind of creepy, right? I know it's a little creepy, but if you think about it that way and you just let this hug right there, that's the high point on the eye, and that's gonna be the most intense sparkle. Ooh, 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 it's so good. I like this one a lot. This one's a little bit darker than the other one we use sometimes. And then all I'm doing is I'm not going directly here because it's pretty smooth already. I'm just kind of feathering it over this way, that way, and that way. You wanted the full tutorial, and if I left this step out, it wouldn't have been what I did, but I did take my Jones Road brown gel liner, and I just did, because it's gonna be even darker than the shadow. Ooh, Jean is giving us a hunk shoe. And I just did a little bit of a thin line just to kind of really enhance and trap everything. At least that's how it is in my head. Kind of trapping and enhancing. Now, I was wearing Ardell 424s, which I'm going to label here, but I placed an order for the Lily Lashes Self-Adhesive in the half lash. So I want to wear my half lashes today, but I'm going to do mascara before. But I will say, if you're going to do the self-adhesive lashes, it's important to let your mascara dry first, or it can muck them up a little bit and then they won't wear as well. But I didn't even curl my lashes. I'm breathing heavy because look at how good this mascara looks. It's the Prada one. I didn't expect to love this, but it's my new favorite mascara. Lily Lashes. This is the self-adhesive half lash in Stargazer or Chaser. Oh Lord. Starcatcher. I was so off. This is why I label things. This is too much yap at this point. All right, so we're gonna let that get a little bit more acquainted and then I'll clamp. I thought you'd want to see the clamp. It's pretty satisfying. And then these are just lash applicator tools. These are actually a Rosamond Beauty prototype that I never put into commission, but I like them. And then I'll just keep kind of shaping it to my eye. And the more it warms up, the better. And for the last step of the eye, I took this MAC powder here. This is the new formula. Lots of mixed reviews. For me, I actually didn't love the original, but this one I absolutely love. So I just took that and just kind of pressed it to really smooth out and blur. And then it'll kind of tie everything together in a minute once we get foundation on. And then I'm gonna set the perimeter of my face with this. Oh, let me just show you. So as I'm just gonna clip this top part of my hair back, you get to listen to Jean. Listen. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a big orange cat. Very, very sleepy cat. Actually not going to use foundation. I'm going to use concealer. I feel, oof, this color's still pretty good on me. A little tan right now. But I feel that I'm going to be able to put most of this in the center of my face. Notice I haven't dipped back in. I feel like the wand deposits the perfect amount for the center of the face. I can't concentrate because the cat is so sleepy. Okay, we just want to make sure it's really nice and smooth. And then we're going to grab a dense brush. And the reason we're going to use the C42 is because this is going to really keep the pigment and take all of this even further. So if you ever want to get more out of your foundation and make it go further but still be very, very thin, you would want the C42. So we'll focus there. If anybody can focus right now, Jean. Yes, I was wearing SPF. I don't want to talk about it. But do you see how it actually looks like bronzer? Because that's truly sun hitting the top part of my forehead. I just feel like that's such a good visual to kind of help you understand bronzer, because that's what we're always mimicking right there. I'm going to go over it just a little bit, but I'm actually not going to cover it up completely. And then I'm going to switch to the C32. That way we can get more out of our concealer. And then I'm going to set the perimeter with the MAC powder. But we're not there yet. Let me just keep working this in. I'm really far away from my mirror because I'm filming with back camera. So sometimes these feel different to y'all. You always worry about me. You actually think that I might be going through something. But all I'm going through is not being able to see what I'm doing. But when I film with back camera, you're able to see better. So maybe I'll get better. I've been doing it for years, but It's getting harder to wear that concealer. It's a little bit lighter, but the MAC powder is going to fix it. But before we go there, I am going to just set my under eyes with this. Ooh, this stuff is so delightful. Okay, I'm going to press that in. I'm going to go ahead and set a little bit of the center, kind of the highest points of the center. Nice. Let me do this side. Not only do I love the formula, but I also love that I don't have to even it out. It just evens out already. NW13 is matching me really, really nicely. So I'm just going to take that. I'm not going to go where I put the Givenchy. Oh, look how it already is matching better. I'm just going to go ahead and lightly set the rest. Probably won't even have to pick up anymore. Like I said, I know that everyone has a lot to say about this powder, but for me, the old formula was a little gritty. I don't know if anybody else experienced that. And I also felt like it was really, really dull. So I like the reformulation. Now I've already forgotten what blush I wore, but I wanted to wear this one. And I'm gonna do it before bronzer. Sometimes I switch it up depending on what I want to be the actual star of the show. And this is just something fun. You normally see me do bronzer first, but try doing blush first, just to have fun. It does kind of make one stand out a little bit more because you're focusing on that first one and you're laying down that layer first. I hope that's making sense. But basically all I'm saying is just switch it up a little bit. See what happens. Double pan. It's okay, I already ordered another one since the Sephora sale's going on. Oof, I love the way this complexion looks. I don't know how long I've been filming this and he's actually been snoring the entire time. Remember 18M, this is the base color, the one that's close to my skin tone. I'm gonna take a little bit of this on my C30. Let's see if I can see this far away. There we go, I can just look in the mirror and I'm just gonna pop that right underneath here, and all that's gonna do is make everything pop a little bit more. I give makeup tutorials, Jean gives snoozing tutorials. Remember the dark shade, the one without the shimmer, the one we use for liner. I did take that underneath here with our E27, and I just tapped it to kind of soften and transition it a little bit. This is optional. You know how to do the base of it. I'm gonna take the shimmery shade and I'm just gonna pop it right in the center of my iris. Again, that's still a high point, even though it's our bottom lash line. These are some of my favorite because the colors are so cool. This is Urban Decay. These are for your waterline. This shade is Caffeinated. And you can see that it's not quite my waterline, not white, but also not beige. It's just a really cool color. I feel like it really opens up the eye. Then I like to blend the edges with my powder here because it's basically matching what I already have going on underneath my eye, but it just really softens everything. And when you use a brush, you're getting a lighter veil as opposed to the puff. So it's not gonna completely change the color underneath here, but it is gonna soften edges. I feel like this is one of my party tricks. I'm literally just looking up. I'm not looking into a mirror. I'll even just look into the lens here. I feel that I've just been doing this so long. I bet I would be so good at the no mirror makeup challenge. Also, look at that. Ooh, I'm telling you, I love this mascara. I will say, now I can do this with any mascara, but because the bristles are just on one side, I feel like you don't have to worry as much because it's just depositing from this one side. So you have a little bit more control. I'm gonna do that same lip combo that y'all requested. I know, it starts out a little spooky. And also, this is a different formula. So this isn't the Caviar matte, this is the more satin, is that what it's called? It's definitely more shiny. This one doesn't, it's supposed to not come off either, and I've been able to wear it, but I will say it wears better with a long wear lip line. I'm about to grab the one we're gonna use, but that does make a big difference. But this is their Hydra cream lipstick. Then I go in with this lip liner, the one from Vive that I cannot get enough of. I can't believe it's still this big. I use it almost every single day, but I just kept blending it in before the lipstick sets. And that's basically it. Jean's done snoring. Then I take powder foundation. I've showed this many times, but somebody might not know. And what this does is not only does it clean up the lip line, but it can create a barrier. So if you ever have feathering, this is the answer to that. MAC powder again, but a fluffier brush. I just wanted to kind of clean up and blur edges. Sometimes I'll do this around my blush and bronzer. Don't want to go on top, because if we go on top, this is quite pigmented, and what can happen is everything can turn a little bit more gray, but I do love to blur edges, so we'll go around with the fluffier brush for a diffuse, soft blur. All right, my friends, there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm so glad y'all requested it. I feel like we've done this before, but I feel like it's really easy and digestible with the liquid shadows. Sometimes, even when I first started my makeup journey, when I would see liner, I would already get overwhelmed, but seeing a liquid shadow and the way that it can blend and how we can use brushes
So much easier.
All right, my friends, I love you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.